So now let me move to the commercial. You see, on alternate Sundays, I teach a world religion course at 10 o'clock. And most of you all have never been because you're in service here. But in our service, in our classroom, we are looking at world religions: Judaism, Hinduism, Islam, Buddhism. We're looking at these world religions, looking for some commonalities, looking to see what can we, I don't want to say appropriate, but actually learn and appreciate. So in those world religions, in this class, we came across Hinduism and some things in Hinduism that I thought, hey, let's talk about this in church. Now, if you choose to come to this workshop next Sunday, we're going to have a guest speaker, because each one of these classes concludes with a guest speaker who's always my friend. So they always come. They don't get paid. But this guest speaker is Hari Musapita. He owns a company here called P&R Supply. He's on the board of Tulsa Metropolitan Ministry, and he is Hindu. He is going to come to speak to us about how his faith has enriched him and keeps him on a journey that we can also model. Now, that's my commercial. You can come next time. The thing that I want to talk to you this morning has to do with, of all things, vision. Has to do with vision and sight. Because too often, we just listen and we read. You know, some folks said that reading is a sacrament with Unitarians. And I kind of believe that. We read, don't we voraciously read? I'm in a reading group here. I get the audio tapes, so I keep up. But you know, the thing is that we put so much emphasis on that word that we may be missing that direct experience. Maybe. I'm not meddling, I'm just wondering. This is what I want to talk about. The Hindus, this is what the Hindus do. The Hindus have a word. And that word signifies worship, but it's more than just worship. The word is Danjram. Danjram. And this word is used in a context of, like, if we were saying, I'm going to worship, they would say, I'm going to take dashram. And this means I'm going to see. I'm going to see the deity. Now, some of us would say, well, yeah, because, you know, you have different figures with many arms and different kinds of things, and yeah, you want to look at that, but that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about image. They're talking about being able to worship is also being able to see the visual acceptance of what is before you. So, you know, that's very interesting to me, because that is not where we come from. One of our traditions is, of course, Christian. The Protestant Reformation said that we want to seize the scriptures. Martin Luther nailed the theses on the door, and he said, sola scriptura, only scripture. He said, let us translate this. Why only one person should be able to read the scripture and tell us? So let us translate it into the vernacular of the people, so all of us can read. All of us can understand what it is to be in there. Now, Dan Arthrell and I are brothers, by the way. And Dan Arthrell and I were talking about Calvinism. Now, Calvinism is one of those ancestors to Unitarian Universalism, but, we don't like to claim that cousin, We say Calvinistic. No. Well, let me tell you what the Calvinistic people did, because they were so enthralled with this idea of seizing back the reins of power over their belief that they went in and they tore up all the organs. Donna, did you hear that? They tore the organs, they broke them up. They took stained glass and they crashed it, broke it, because they said, no, that kind of image, we don't want that. We want the scriptures, only scriptures. It went a little far, I think. But then they came over this way. Oh, yeah. When you look in New England and you look at the Congregationalists and the Unitarians who settled on that coast and began to worship, they built their meeting houses, airy meeting houses, kind of like this. And they had the pulpit way above everyone so that the word could be preached, kind of like this. And they had on the windows panes, high window panes that did not have stained glass, kind of like this. So you see, we descend directly from those folks who were saying we need to replace the altar with the pulpit, and we need to replace Mass with the sermon. Hear the word. Now, Unitarians have gone a little bit away from the Calvinistic, a whole lot away from the Calvinistic Christian view, and we know that. But have we really gone away in terms of the subtleness of our form, church? The subtleness of our form. We kind of like raise our eyebrows when there's something different up here. If someone wants to come down out of the pulpit, people go, uh-oh, what's he going to do? You might see some drums over there. You say, oh my. Because we are still wed to the form. So what I want to bring to you is the idea of the visual, the idea of the image. I love, though I cannot see it well, but I love the fact we have simple gifts out there in our narthex. The simple gifts painting that has all the different symbols of what it is to be a UU. I love that. I love the fact that flower arrangements are around us. That's part of the living tradition. You see, Emerson was trying to get us to view the world, to go out there and see it. And of course, the world Emerson lived in is not the world we live in. We have cell phones and Blackberries. My wife just got a Blackberry. She lets me know all the time, well, there's an email that says blah, 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 blah. And I say, okay, would you answer it for me then? Because, it makes it handy, doesn't it? You got a Blackberry, you're always on, you're connected. So we live in a world of instant communication. We were in Uganda just a few minutes ago. So that's the kind of world we live in, whereas right now it's turned on. And the word is very important, whether you're texting it or speaking it. And so people don't really have time to appreciate what Emerson was talking about, nature and thought. What? Thought? Who's thinking? We're just doing.